In this lesson, we are going to talk about recording video. All the example shots, all the example videos have been recorded with mobile phones, but the same principles and advice applies to recording with a camera or a Handycam or any other video recording device. First off, it's best to use a fixed shot. Put the camera somewhere stable. Ideally, in an electronics store, you'd be able to get a cheap tripod and a phone clamp to attach your phone to it, or another camera you can just screw on. This is the best option, but if that's not available, you can also just put your camera on a bookshelf or somewhere steady and stable. An important factor in the quality of our video is going to be the background and the environment. Using a completely empty background, like sitting in front of a white wall, is not going to be very aesthetic, and it's not gonna make for a good video. On the other hand, a busy background is going to draw attention away from what you're trying to say, so keep it somewhere in between. Have something in the background, but not too much going on. You should also make a test recording and check the edges of the frame of what you're recording to see if nothing is peeking in from the side or from the bottom that you're not really wanting to show. It's best to have a desk or a table in front of you when you're recording. This makes it seem a little bit more natural, and it's also a good place to put your notes or your laptop while you're talking. Next up, the placement of the camera and the camera angle is very important. Best advice is to keep the camera eye level or a little bit below it, just a tiny bit. This is going to feel more natural. It's going to be the closest you can get with a video to sitting face to face and talking with someone. Make sure that your recording is not too far away or too close. Ideally, in your frame, you should see most of the table in front of you and a little bit of space just above your head. That's the perfect balance. If you are going to show objects or demonstrate an experiment or something like that in your lesson, make sure that most or all of the desk in front of you is visible in the recording. If you want, you can also use a second camera or a second mobile phone, holding it in your hand to record short videos of what you're trying to show sort of close up. Also here, make sure that you're not recording way too close, because then students won't be able to really make out what's happening, but also don't hold it too far away, because then you'll just have a big empty desk space in the video. Another important aspect is lighting. Easiest and best solution is to use natural light. Sitting by a window, facing or semi-facing the window directly is going to give you very natural looking light. If you see that one side of your face or one side of the shot is much brighter and the other side is much darker, you can move a little bit further away from the window to get a more evenly lit scene. You can also take a piece of something big and white, like a big white bed sheet, and hang it up on the darker side opposite the window. This is going to reflect some light and lift the darker areas back up to being more light and closer to the side that is closer to the window. If natural light is not available, you can also use artificial light, like lamps. In this situation, definitely make sure not to use the regular light tubes that you'd have in most classrooms. This is not going to make for a good look, and it's going to, frankly, make you look a little bit sickly. Instead, use something like a standing lamp or something similar, preferably something with a big, wide area, and also make sure that you place it sort of head on or a little bit off to the side, like you would sit in relation to a window with natural light. Artificial light lamps are going to give off less light than you'd get from the sun, so feel free to use more than one lamp or stronger lamps. Go for more light than you would need to comfortably read. That is going to give you a better illumination for your video. If you have the option, also make sure that you move your light a little bit up so it shines down on you a little bit, not too high, but sort of above head height. If all you have available is a light on the ceiling, that's also fine. Just make sure that you're not sitting directly under it. It's best to sit about 2 or 3 meters behind the light, so the light is shining from the front and about 2 or 3 meters ahead of you. that is going to give you a fairly natural look. To summarize the most important points from this lesson, first, look out for your background and your environment. Make sure that nothing's peeking in from the sides that you don't want people to see, and make sure that you have something more than a white wall behind you, but not too much going on so it won't draw attention away from what you're trying to say. Second, place your camera eye level or a little bit below that. That's perfect. Third, when it comes to light, make sure that it's hitting you head on or a little bit off to the side and a little bit above your head level. If you have artificial light, you can move those around. If you have a window that you're using, that's even better. You can just move your seat to have the light coming at you head on. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you in the next lesson.